What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at the Asmus Boromir, and it's already done for pre-order, but if you want to check out some Asmus figures, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. They offer $4 shipping, and if you're doing pre-orders, they don't do NRDs for the most part, so you can cancel anytime. So let's take a look at this. I hunted this down because I missed so many opportunities to get this guy for cheap. One with the Asmus website, I think they marked it down to 170 at one point, and at Big Bad, but I wasn't completely sold with the head sculpt, so I just kind of passed on it. And now I'm kind of addicted again to Asmus figures. I'm glad that I didn't really sell any. Now I'm hunting these figures that I missed. I was gonna hunt an Aragorn, but I know they're gonna come up with a new one, the Helm's Deep version. So finally, if I get that, I'm gonna complete my fellowship, and maybe I can stop right there. But as far as this figure, as you can see, it comes with various accessories, a decent amount of hands. The hands are actually pretty good. One thing that I guess one of the things that I don't like about Asmus is the way they use hands. It looks plasticky, like 3-0. But on this Boromir, it looks really good. As far as accessories, he comes with a lot, like I mentioned earlier, and die cast. So one thing about Asmus is, when it comes to outfit and their accessories, they are pretty darn good. This one does not come with the with an awesome base, unfortunately. Kind of like Gandalf and Thranduil and all that stuff. But as you can see here, those hands are beautiful. And it's not just, it doesn't cut off on the wrist. It comes kind of like, it goes further. So I'm really happy about that. I'm mostly going to use the gloved hands, but as you can see here, the quality is really good. You can see the paint application. They've come a long way, and it goes inside the hands that you can't even see the ball joint after that. So that's amazing from Asmus there. He also comes with like a few gloved hands here. The one that would hold his sword, the horn, and the shield. So good assortment of hands out there. You also have this cloak that I did put. And then he comes with this huge, I don't know what do you call that, kind of like a hoodie jacket of some sort. Not jacket, but it's kind of feathery and all that stuff. I'm using that as well, but he looks a little bit bulky and kind of reminds me of Ned Stark from Game of Thrones, if you put that in. He does come with his sword as well, and like I mentioned, it is die cast. I did have a little problem, not with a sword, but with this figure on the back, with his knife. It was missing, so I bought this on eBay. As you can see, he got a dagger right here, and it's die cast as well. It looks pretty good. Everything looks great. But on the back, and it was brand new when I bought it on eBay. I contacted the seller, but what can he do? It was sealed when I bought it, but it was missing a loop of leather, and I contacted Asmus, just giving it a shot, because this is an older figure. So I was just like, hey, maybe they have a part. And Asmus, if you've dealt with them before, they're really good. They listen to the fans. They go to the forums. You go to their Facebook. They actually interact with the fans. They make revisions, based on fans' response. So they're really good. So I contacted them. Just give it a shot. I'm not even mad about it. I can probably loop something in with whatever. But I just gave it a shot, and they responded and actually sent me. It's on the way now. That sheath on the back of his belt, which is really awesome by Asmus. So I tip my hats off to them. I'm glad I got this figure as well. And this is the horn, I believe, of Gondor. Mostly plastic, but you can see nice detail overall, man. The ivory, and then the small details on the horn itself. It is beautiful. And then it goes over his shoulder and to his neck. It just hangs in there. But yeah, I mean, for me, Boromir is essential to completing my fellowship. Even though he lasted only one film, just every other film or movie or TV show that Sean Bean does, that is his iconic shield. I love that shield, man. Even in the movies, I mean, I can have him hold it, but it just looks so good on his back. And I think that's more, I don't even know if he actually used the shield on the battle. Maybe he did. But it just looks so badass when it's in his back. Now, me getting Boromir does not mean I'm gonna get Faramir as well. Maybe, yeah. I like these characters, man. And then the Lord of the Rings stand in here, and this is an older figure. Like I said, I gotta hunt this down on eBay. So I paid for this with my own money. If you guys are wondering if Asmus has sent this to me, no, they don't even send me figures anymore. I think the last one was Thorin, you know, but I think they're gonna stop that moving forward. But I'm a huge fan, man. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. Asmus, they just keeps on getting better and better. But this figure is not there yet, you know. Like I said, this is a bit older. The outfit is stellar as usual from Asmus. The leather that they use, I don't think this is gonna peel like a pleather. It feels different. If you've had their, it's thinner. And it feels heavier than a normal fabric, but it's thin that I don't think it's gonna peel. I could be wrong here, but you know, I live in a I'm lucky enough to live in a place where my Catwoman and the Crow has not peeled yet, so I'm not a good indication whether this is gonna last or not. But just by touching it, it feels really solid. So you know, again, if you see someone on the forums, as you can see here, that is the sheet. You can see it's missing one loop. And I thought that's how it's supposed to be, and then I started investigating it, and then the what happened to the other loop started disintegrating. You know, it's as you know, like if you buy something, has probably been stored somewhere in Florida. I don't know. This was brand new, like I said. It just disintegrated, and contacted Asmus, see if I can get one, and they were able to deliver, and you know, that was the end of it. And by the way, this has two versions, so if you're gonna hunt for this one, it comes with the rooted hair and the sculpted hair. I haven't personally seen the sculpted hair, but they're saying it's better than the rooted hair. Well, you can see on the next section here on the head sculpt, I don't think the head sculpt is that bad. It's also not good. Could you know it's Sean Bean if I didn't tell you? Probably not. I don't have an option here. I wanted to complete the fellowship, and so you can see here. Can you tell it's Sean Bean? If I didn't tell you it was Boromir or Ned Stark, maybe in some angles, but I'm gonna keep it real here. If I have to grade it 1 out of 10, I'll give it a 6. You know, with the rooted hair, it looks tamed right now, but once I touched it, it has some sort of a product on it that keeps it like that. But once I started, like, because in here I just, you know, I haven't done anything, so once I removed the head to insert his shield, the cloak, then the hair gets kind of, you know, messy, and it's hard to put it back together. It looks less than Boromir now than it was when I got him. And this is one of the reasons why it took me forever to review this figure, because I wasn't really sold. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a huge fan of Asmus, huge fan of the Lord of the Rings, but this is not their finest work when it comes to head sculpts. But this is one of those figures I just gotta have. I know I overpaid for this one. The question always is, if you're buying something like Asmus or Star Ace, would you get your money's worth? Would your money serve better if you buy a hot toy? And in this case, yeah, you know, I paid like $230 with this one shipped. So if I added $50 more, I could have probably gotten a hot toy that has a better quality. But then again, I wouldn't have the same attachment to it, because I do love the franchise. So, you know, those is one of those things where you just throw logic out of the window. But other than the head sculpt, I think it's a terrific figure. If you just ignore the head sculpt, and I got this for $200, and I think it's like $10 to ship, and then the taxes and all that stuff. So all in all, it's still cheaper than Hot Toys, so it's not the worst purchase I've ever made. But still, you know, it's still kind of salty with the head sculpt. My only hope is that, and Asmus is known for this, re-releasing like a version 2 of a figure, and because they are, I would say, they think about the fans enough that they're willing to sell just the head sculpt, because everything else is beautiful, everything else is perfect, but the head sculpt. The head sculpt is not ugly. It's not it's not Ant-Man bad, you know, where it's creepy. It just doesn't look 100% not Ned Stark. Boromir. That's the only issue I do have. The hair also is a bit messy, but I can kind of fix it. But as you can see here, he looks great, man. I mean, the accessories, the outfit itself, and then you can put this cloak on. You don't even need to remove the hair. I mean, the head sculpt. You do have to remove it, however, with the cloak, though. And you can kind of just futz it around. And now, if you remove the Horn of Gondor, you can probably get away with it standing right next to a Jon Snow, which I would get in a... It's on my pile of loot currently on Big Bad Toy Store. I'm waiting for Man of Steel to arrive. So they can just ship it all at once. But yeah, oh man, look at this. The green screen is attacking Ned Stark right now with all that. But it looks great, man. I mean, you got several options on how to display him. You can have this, remove the cloak, have it with a cloak with a hoodie on. I even think you can remove this blue part, but I wouldn't go that far. But it's nice. It's a really nice figure. You can put him aside here, have him stand with the rest of the Fellowship, and I just need an Aragorn, man. I heard from Asmus maybe December is when they're gonna ship out or start having the pre-orders for Aragorn. But these are the things where I would say take your time, and I'll wait. Don't rush. I just want the best Aragorn in my collection. Those people who are selling their Aragorn Slim on eBay for like $400, which is crazy because it came out as $175. Just wait. Hold on, guys. I would say the better figure is coming because they've come a long way, man. The Galadriel that they announced, ooh, that head sculpt can if it stays the same. And their Crown Series Gandalf, I can't wait for that. I'm just gonna pick up the head sculpt for Crown Series Gandalf as well. So I'm hoping that they will do that with Boromir. Let me pick up the head sculpt, and I'm okay with the rest. So if you are an Asmus fan, and I know a few of the people I chat with, like John, is hunting down some Asmus collectibles, and I'm glad that they're getting some attention. I love it. It's something different from Hot Toys. Would I recommend this figure? Only if a huge fan, honestly. You don't get the satisfaction because of the head sculpt. But if you're a huge fan like myself, you can reason out with yourself, throw logic out the window, and you'll be satisfied. You wouldn't be completely happy with it, but you'll be satisfied that you have Boromir in your collection. And honestly, even if they don't release another Boromir in the future, this would do. I mean, it's not that horrible. It's just that the face sculpt is kind of off. But like I said, you'll be happy. If I have to recommend, if you're hunting this down, I wouldn't pay anything more than $230 for this guy, or $250 maybe max. That is if you really want the figure. Otherwise, just spend that money elsewhere because you'll have your money's worth. But there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this review helps you out. If you are on the hunt for Boromir, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. 90% of my viewers hasn't even subscribed to me, so help me out create more content here by subscribing. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. And if you're into video games, follow me on Twitch. I'm almost there every night. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next review.